Hello, and welcome to Non Sequitur News for May 16th, 2025. It's Season 4, Episode 136. I am Mayor Watt. I run ohmtown.com. That's that site right there. The sentient AI isn't here, but I've got 10 articles for you. First one is Finders Keepers Analog Ransomware. Leopard spotted Rattlesnake, Arctic Vault of Great Works. Chromebooks are fire. Bungie may never bounce back. Your next password is maybe. And Dine and Dash Millionaires abandoned Orca, Nolan's Odyssey, and no pilot for 10 minutes. Everything is powered by ohmtown.com, so go over and become a citizen, and I'll see you on the other side of this. Hello again. I am Mayor Watt. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about these 10 articles, and the first one is going to be 4-Wheel Tech. It's over in 4-Wheel Tech. It's one of our weekend shows. This is a time machine episode, mayoral duties, and I've been campaigning. So I wasn't available on the 16th or the 17th or the 18th today. We're in the time machine on the 19th going back to the 16th. Probably the worst time blip ever so far. I try to make things not happen that way, but I have a million bosses. So the first article is over on 4-Wheel Tech. Connecticut Towing Company can hold personal property for ransom just because it was inside the vehicle. That's right. Apparently, Connecticut law allows this. Eric Ryan King. If your stuff is in the vehicle, I guess it doesn't matter what it is. They can be held ransom. So don't put anything important in there. State lawmakers are attempting to reverse this situation by guaranteeing access to personal property, but towing companies in Connecticut are using the personal belongings inside towed cars to squeeze fees out from drivers who can't cover the costs. As a result, people have lost items that they need to earn money to get their car back. Yeah. Connecticut DMV regulations allow owners to retrieve property inside towed vehicles if it's essential to the health and welfare of any person. This rule's subjective wording leaves interpretation down to the discretion of towing companies, and to no one's surprise, it's been abused because people are shits. Yeah, inside his sedan, there's a story. Inside their sedan was a fishing rod just bought for his 4-year-old son and the equipment for his night job as a security guard, and he couldn't afford the $300 in fees, and the towing company wouldn't let him get his property back, and the company ended up selling Hudson's car with his things inside and was forced to save up another $1,000 to replace his work equipment, which included canceling a fishing trip with his son. Yeah, so let's see. I don't know why there's this picture here. It's just this random, I don't know, is this like the Connecticut like town hall or something like that? Not town hall, but court offices or whatever, government agency. I don't know. The Connecticut House, basically. Is that what that is? Legislators want to firmly entrench protections for drivers with Connecticut House Bill 7162, and the bill would guarantee access to personal property. It also mandates that towing companies have to be open for at least 4 hours during weekends and holidays so drivers can retrieve their things without missing a shift at work or having to accommodate other responsibilities. Yeah. So if somebody owed you $800 and they called up and they said they want to get something out of their car, it's okay for them to waltz down here and take their things and then leave you with an $800 bill. Well, yeah. I mean, sorry, my nose is itching. Well, yeah. I mean, your bill is for the car, not for the stuff that's inside them, and who knows what's inside that car, medication, for instance. I mean, you don't have to be a dispassionate, sociopathic shit about it. Just let them grab their stuff and go. So any car valued above $1,500 threshold has to be held for 45 days, it says. Yes, triple the time to pay off the fees because the car is deemed valuable enough to hold on to. It says show some remorse. Don't hurt the people who need help the most. But, it's okay. In this era, apparently it's okay. You're fine doing despicable things to human beings. So the next article is over on the Marble Channel. This eye-catching rattlesnake found in Arizona has unusual leopard spots, likely from a genetic mutation. The article is over in the Smithsonian Magazine or SmithsonianMag.com website. Sarah Kuda put it together. And the deck statement says snake wrangler safely relocated the healthy female western diamondback from a backyard in Scottsdale. But they said that it's first of their experience. It has little rosettes instead of diamonds. Squishy diamonds, I guess. Anyway, experts with Rattlesnake Solutions, a humane snake relocation and prevention company, were called in to remove a western diamondback, Crotalus atrox, from a backyard in Scottsdale on May 9th. When they arrived, they found a 30-inch long healthy adult female with big pattern mutation. Big pattern mutation! What? I'm sorry. I shouldn't do that kind of stuff. Anyway, it's hard to tell what exactly is going on, but it's a normal diamondback that has a pattern that's been, epigenetically modified? I mean, it's genetic wobble. So if it survives and the genetics are deemed dominant in the genetic breed, well, whenever the snake breeds, this may be a line of snake at some point becoming the genetic dominant species. Anyway, pretty cool. The next article is over in Hatch Ideas. Visit the Arctic Vault, holding backups of great works. An Arctic Vault holds digital backups of some of humanity's great works of art, history, and technology, according to this article over at bbc.com. Adrian Murray put the article together. One of those in Longyearbyen, the world's northernmost town, just outside the settlement, is a decommissioned coal mine, the Arctic World Archive, AWA, an underground vault for data. This is a place to make sure that information survives technology obsolescence, time, and aging. That's our mission, says founder Rune Björkstrand. Leading the way inside, switching on headlamps, not actual torches. We descended a dark passageway and followed the old rail tracks 300 meters into the mountainside until we reached an archive metal door. It's a lot of memories, they say, a lot of heritage. It's anything from digitized art pieces, literature, music, motion picture, you name it. Since the archive's launch 8 years ago, more than 100 deposits have been made by institutions, companies, individuals from 30 plus countries. Only 100 deposits? I don't know why you would have to put on headlamps if you've got a lit path like that. Anyway, according to him, Svalbard is the perfect place for hosting a secure data storage facility. It's far away from everything, far away from wars, crisis, terrorism, disasters. What could be safer? Actually, you become a target for all of that kind of stuff. People will go in there, and when there's a problem, like they'll attack that at some point if it becomes strategically advantageous to wipe out whatever history might be there. It's incredibly important for humanity to secure the future of software. It's become so critical day to day. But technology is going to be obliviated by the march of time. You're just going to become the older stuff is just going to get phased out, like Betamax. Who knows? Who cares about Betamax anymore, right? So we can scan it, decode it, just the same way as reading data from a hard drive, but we will be reading data from the film. So it says the information can't be deleted or changed, and it's easily retrievable. So they scan the images in, if it's images. Another technology, cassettes of magnetic tape known as LTR, or linear tape open, are the most common form, but newer innovations promise to revolutionize how we preserve information. For example, Microsoft's Project Silica has developed 2mm thick panes of glass onto which chunks of data are transferred by powerful lasers. Yeah, it's a pretty neat device, by the way. We've talked about it here in ohmTown. Let's keep going. This next article is, please, kids, do not set your Chromebook on fire. The article is over at Business Insider. Katie Natopoulos put the article together. There's no deck statement, but it says several kids are facing charges for messing with their Chromebooks. The Chromebook challenge is a TikTok trend in which kids jam a paperclip into a laptop to make it smoke. That's dumb. Grabs share, spins it around, sits on it backwards, says Katie Natopoulos, who then goes in to say, please just don't do it. Even though you may be bored, the lighting stuff on fire is undeniably cool looking. There's a game we're going to talk about later. Anyway, it's for all you firebugs. So please do not light your Chromebooks on fire. It can cause serious injury. It is a risless and sus road you don't want to go down. There is no Sigma here. Oh God. Oh, speaking to Gen Alpha, I guess. I don't know. Kids are facing charges in several states for messing with their Chromebooks. 13-year-old was arrested on suspicion of arson in Long Beach, California, and students in schools in Arizona face criminal charges, according to Bullhead City Fire Department. 2 teens in Southington, Connecticut, are facing misdemeanor charges, including criminal mischief and reckless endangerment. Kids don't understand. Criminal charges. All right. So like the Luddite cloth workers of the Industrial Revolution, you take a stand and fight and break against the machine that yokes you. Why not just jam a paperclip into the Chromebook? No, just don't do it. Don't. It's stupid. It's not your property to begin with. Secondly, it can start a fire or you can be electrocuted, depending on what shorts out and how it's configured. Just don't. Come on. Anyway, the next article is over in Non Sequitur News. Bungie caught stealing artwork again. I caught this over the last few days. Ash Parrish over at The Verge put this article together. And it says here that Bungie has issued a statement on social media saying that it's investigating how unauthorized artwork appeared in the closed alpha of its PvPvE shooter Marathon, which is just, it can't take another hit, basically. It's on its last pip of its last bar of health. In an interview with Washington Post, Fern being Fern Hook, who is the Scottish artist whose artwork has been it was modified, but not substantially to the point where it would be unique. But anyway, yeah, this isn't the first time either that Bungie has been caught dipping into somebody else's inkwell, so to speak. Although that actually has a different content. Anyway, I'll just move on. So Fern posted side-by-side comparisons of her work and what appears to be in Marathon, and she also made a post on Twitter back in 2024 saying that she hid a reference to Control-Delete webcomic loss in her designs. A year later, a player posted a screenshot of the game that includes a coded reference to the comic. It's just horrible. The studio also said it reached out to Fern to discuss the matter and that it is committed to doing artist right. In 2024, Bungie agreed to compensate the artist Tofu Rabbit after she discovered that the design for a Destiny 2 themed Nerf gun was ripped directly from her fan art. Bungie has also said that, or has been accused of using other creators' Destiny 2 fan art for references and cutscenes without permission. It's funny though. Never mind. I won't say it because it sounds like I'm cheerleading what they're doing, but I'm not cheerleading anybody's, like fan art is fan art. Reach out and just ask the fan, but the fan is benefiting from the existence of Destiny, just like Destiny is benefiting from the existence of the fan, and it's give and take. But if the artist were to try and make money utilizing these things, overtly make money, I mean, they get benefit from it because they gain reputation. Naturally it's based on their skill, but what they're using to amplify their skill is the fact that they're doing it for Destiny 2. So I don't know, but out of respect, you should contact the artist before you use it. Ask for forgiveness, not permission, I guess. But if this person was selling Destiny 2 artwork, original artwork as their own and slightly modifying it, they'd be sued into oblivion, or their entire livelihood of a channel on YouTube would be knocked off. And that's kind of the whole disgusting part. There's a power imbalance. So they think that they can do whatever they want. Anyway, the next article is over in Wanted. Your next password could be a piece of plastic. A new molecular technology could help us solve our ever-growing need for data storage. No, man, just turn humans into couriers, right? Yeah, I think that we should be able to dump a chunk of long-term memory and store data in our heads. Although, I think we can store a whole lot more than a couple of gigs. Anyway, in a new study published in Cell Press Journal Chem, researchers were able to store and decode an 11-character password encoded in the molecular makeup of a piece of plastic. The technology could help us meet our growing demand for energy-intensive long-term data storage, the scientists suggest. The article is over at gizmodo.com by Natalia Meza, or Meza, I'm not sure how they pronounce her last name. Anyway, to address the limitations, the researchers designed molecules that contain sequences of electrochemical information. Then, the researchers were able to read the information using electrical signals. The password's encoding molecules have 4 building blocks called monomers, each with a unique electrochemical property. To create the password, the team designed a 256-character alphabet in which each character is composed of different combinations of these 4 monomers. Then, they chained together monomers to create a polymer representing an 11-character password, such as what is represented here. And I can't remember... I don't know, dread. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know how, if this is leet speak or if this is some crypto thing or whatever. I don't know. It's got a bunch of characters, alphanumeric characters, extended ASCII characters. So the researchers also developed a novel method of reading these electrochemical signals. These chain-like polymers have a unique property. They can be broken down sequentially, one monomer at a time. So the team decoded the password by removing the building blocks one by one from the end of the chain and using voltammetry to measure the electrical properties. And as they fell off, each monomer produced unique electrochemical signals that the study authors used to successfully decode the password. Unfortunately, it takes 2.5 hours for the 11-character password to be decoded. Yikes. All right, let's keep going. Next article is over in the Mobile Channel. Millionaires awarded $100,000 after being falsely accused of dine and dashing. In July, the McGirrs, owners of a multi-million-pound engineering firm, visited the Horse and Jockey Inn in England's Peak District, and they ordered a normal pub-style dinner: $27 ribeye steaks, $15 gammon, several pints. Nothing out of the ordinary. After enjoying the meal, they casually walked out the door. Not long after, the pub posted grainy CCTV footage on Facebook, accusing them of dining and dashing on a $150 tab. The video, of course, went viral, and within days, the McGirrs were being named in a fraud case, a dine and dash case. So Ashley Fike over at Vice.com put the article together. Yeah, they were being... there was comments basically saying that they were criminals. So there was just one problem. They had paid. A staff member simply failed to ring the payment through the till. The pub later blamed the mistake on an inexperienced employee, although maybe that employee actually just got caught. The restaurant offered apologies, free meals, and even a complimentary stay to make it right, but the damage was done. According to a family friend who spoke with Daily Mail, it was a very difficult time for the family because they knew all along that they were innocent. A lot of horrible things were said about them, not just online, but within the community. The McGirrs weren't inclined to let it slide. A lot of people might have accepted this, but given the McGirrs' wealth and excellent reputation, that was never going to happen. Serious and defamatory accusations that falsely suggested criminal conduct. So, and they went wide with it. So, of course, good. They should be sued. So, rather than fight it out in court, the Horse and Jockey settled before any evidence was formally presented. That would have jacked the price up a whole lot. Roughly £75,000 or $100,000, plus a formal apology acknowledging the distress they caused. So, there's more over at this article, Vice. Vice.com is the site, and Ashley Fike is the author. The next article is over in the Mobile Channel. 2 orcas trapped in abandoned marine park months after closure. 4 months after Marineland Antibes closed, 2 orca remain. Wiki, 23, and her 11-year-old son, Kehoe. They've been circling a green decaying tank in eerie silence for weeks, and they've outlasted the crowds, caretakers, and now possibly the plan to get them out. Unfortunately, that sucks. So Ashley Fike over at Vice.com put this article together again. The footage shot by animal rights group Tidebreakers shows what's left of Marineland Antibes. Once a family-friendly attraction near Cannes, it closed in January after France's ban on dolphin and whale shows finally took effect. 12 dolphins and 2 orcas were supposed to be rehomed. Sadly, that hasn't happened. This is an emergency and it needs worldwide attention. The people who put this together are the ones that should be paying, and they should be named. It should all be public, and they should never be allowed to do this again to anything. So where moved? Great question. The French government has rejected 2 relocation plans already, one to a marine zoo in Japan, another in Loro Park in Tenerife. A scientific panel in Spain blocked the latter, saying that the facility didn't have enough space. That leaves Wiki and Kehoe trapped in a crumbling tank with nothing but a rotating shift of staff tossing them food and calling it care. Why not just release them into the wild? They'll go feral, right? Won't they go feral? I mean, they're animals, for crying out loud. They'll learn, right? Pretty damn quick too, right? Anyway, maybe not. Problem is, France won't greenlight this. They have a crew that built Kiko's sanctuary after Free Willy. We're the only team with actual experience in this. Laurie Marino, the president of Whale Sanctuary Project in Nova Scotia, says that her team is ready now. We've done it before. Problem is, France won't greenlight it. So if you don't even have a site, you're years away, Marino pointed out. Meanwhile, Waikiki and Kehoe are circling. The park's owners, Park Reunidos, yeah, are still largely responsible for the animals, but haven't offered any timeline. We are disappointed in the lack of planning and complete mismanagement. Shusterova added, they've entertained the public for years. The least they can do is make sure that they don't waste away in a tank. Yeah, and there's more, again, over at Vice.com. This next article is over in Non Sequitur News. That's where it gets aggregated to, but it's over at The Verge. Christopher Nolan's Odyssey will be the first movie shot entirely on IMAX film, which I thought there was already one, but maybe not. Interstellar, I thought, was IMAX. Company had to develop entirely new cameras to make the world first possible. I thought that this was already done, though. Weird. The Odyssey isn't the first film to be shot entirely using IMAX hardware. That honor goes to Avengers: Infinity War. But it's the first to do so while shooting on film rather than digital. Oh, it's IMAX film, not digital. Got it. Very big difference. Okay, that's a lot of film that's going to be used, because that's really big. It's like 46 millimeter film, I thought. So Chris called them up and said, if you can figure out how to solve the problems, I will make Odyssey 100% in IMAX. And that's what we're doing. Gelfond told the Hollywood Reporter. He forced us to rethink the side of our business, our film recorders, our film cameras. The new cameras are reportedly both lighter and 30% quieter. Gelfond said the company also has developed new film scanning and processing techniques to make it quicker and easier to watch footage back as it's shot. For now, the new films are exclusive to Nolan, but will be available to other directors after The Odyssey wraps production. I cannot imagine how expensive those cameras will be. And finally, the last article for today's Non Sequitur is over in Non Sequitur News. A flight spent 10 minutes with no pilot when the first officer collapsed while the captain was in the bathroom. Dude, what are you doing in the bathroom on a flight that long? Pet Sim over at BusinessInsider.com put the article together. All in all, the flight was left without a pilot operating it for roughly 10 minutes. The incident occurred on a Lufthansa flight in early 2024 while the captain was in the bathroom. 30-year-old first officer lost consciousness while alone on the flight deck. How do they get in? Supposed to lock it. Anyway, with about half an hour remaining in the journey, the captain left the flight deck to use the bathroom, and the first officer passed out. When the captain returned roughly 8 minutes later, he was unable to get back into the cockpit. In an interview with investigators, the first officer said that he had suddenly lost consciousness. How did they get in? The captain tried to enter the security door's access code 5 times. At the same time, a flight attendant tried to contact the first officer in the intercom. After receiving no response, the captain used the emergency access code. Before the timer for this expired, the first officer was able to recover enough to open the door. Wild. All right, well, that's it, folks. That's it for Non Sequitur News for May 16th, 2025. And then we have Non Sequitur, we have weekend editions of Non Sequitur News, which are composites, 3 unique shows on Saturday and 3 unique shows on Sunday. So the next Reality Hacker basically consists of the next episode of Non Sequitur News consists of Reality Hacker, Wanted, and the Continuity Report. And then Sunday's Non Sequitur News consists of Warcrafters, Technology Today, and 4-Wheel Tech. But that's not the show. We'll see you in a little bit. Bye-bye.